The story of modern life is pretty simple. It's a race with no finish line. Wherever you look on the internet, you see the same message repeating, that the life you want is just one step away. It's hidden behind the next purchase, achievement, or goal. But every time we try to reach for it, we end up feeling worse than before. And still, we keep on chasing, as if the next time will finally be different. Our endless chase for more is one of the defining struggles of the modern age. We live our lives surrounded by abundance and endless options, something that past generations could never imagine. Everywhere we turn, there is always something new calling for our attention. But what we don't realize is that in this constant chase, nothing can make us happy forever. Every possession, every experience eventually becomes ordinary. It's a cycle of anticipation and reward that we all fall into, only to end up in disappointment. If you are like me, you have probably been through this cycle many times before, waiting for something with so much anticipation only to realize it wasn't what you were looking for. Imagine that day you finally get a package you have wanted for so long. How you get so excited the moment you lay your eyes on it. And as you tear it open, you might tell yourself, this is it. This new phone will solve all of my problems. You might explore its features for hours, setting it up the way you want and optimizing every little detail you could find. In that moment, time would rapidly pass by, and every part of you wants that high to never end. But it becomes pretty obvious that the excitement is slowly wearing off. And now you're probably thinking about the money you had spent. You might ask yourself if it was too much, maybe unnecessary. You question if what you did was a mistake as the rest of reality rushes back in. You remember that you have work in the morning and all of the different things you need to take care of. That phone is obviously no longer making you happy. So your mind does what it always do. It whispers to you, what's next? Even if you aren't the kind of person who get excited over a new smartphone, you probably see that same pattern of anticipation and disappointment appearing in many situations in your life. At its root, it's all connected to the same point, that when we feel dissatisfied with things, we usually turn our attention outwards, towards something occurring outside of ourselves. If I am unhappy, it's probably because I made the wrong choices. I have the wrong job, the wrong partner, or maybe the wrong house. So we start looking for the next thing that will finally make us feel complete. But the same thing always happens. The moment we get what we wanted, we start to want something else. In that instant, we don't realize that what we are missing isn't something. It's not another object or a place or a person. It's the space to look at our lives and see what is really happening inside, to face ourselves, confronting our thoughts and emotions. Instead of this needed inner reflection, we run from ourselves through an endless, empty chase that leads nowhere. There is actually a name for this phenomenon we are stuck in. Psychologists call it the hedonic treadmill. It is the idea that no matter what we gain or achieve in life, our happiness doesn't stay elevated for long. At first, we might feel truly happy, but over time, we return to how we have always felt before. It's like running on a treadmill. No matter how fast you go, you end up in the same place emotionally. The thing we were chasing becomes our new normal, and then we are off to the races again. This hedonic treadmill isn't necessarily bad, and it isn't anything new. Our brain evolved to always look for the next advantage, the next resource, or the next opportunity. That instinct is what kept our species alive for so long. Before our technological advances though, we chased things at a much slower pace. We went on hunts, gathered food, and built houses and cities. Things took days, weeks, and sometimes months or years to happen. And when we were finally rewarded, we stopped for a while. We traveled back home, we rested, and we shared what we had with others. We had a lot of empty space to be with ourselves, with our thoughts, before we went on our next mission. Fast forward thousands of years later, and that survival tool we had never really switched off. Modernity had only turned this hedonic treadmill into overdrive. We are wired to live in a world where rewards are rare and slow, but instead we exist in this surreal time period where we can get hundreds of tiny rewards the moment we open our eyes. Every ad and notification is designed to hint at something that you could be missing. Different systems are trying to take advantage of the way we are wired as everything has turned toward consumption. We are constantly flooded with shiny objects and digital noise. Different distractions that hook into our ancient wiring, keeping us chasing endlessly. No longer for survival, but for stimulation. And in that flood, the space to reflect and to reconnect with ourselves ceased to exist. Unfortunately, things don't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. With the rise of AI and chatbots, we are spending even less time in reflection. We used to sit with problems, flip through books, and wrestle with ideas. And now, a 3-second prompt spits the answer back at us. It's true that life is becoming more efficient, but the pause where we form meaning is being erased. Any discomfort and there is a screen ready to soothe it, and there is an answer at the tip of our fingers. And with every convenience, we drift further from ourselves. It's no wonder that so many of us feel overwhelmed, drained, and unfulfilled. So where do we go from here? Well, the answer is probably in going back to living closer to our nature. Because this hyper-connected, ultra-comfortable world won't hand us silence or space. We will have to carve it out ourselves. We need to have quiet moments to reflect on our thoughts and choices, to figure out what gives our life meaning. We need to find and reform the empty space where our minds can wander freely. Modern life will always find a way to fish for our attention and keep us chasing. It's all up to us. Do we take the bait or do we swim in the opposite direction?